Hi, and welcome back to Bounce Forward with me, Tiff Hall. I'd like to acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land on which I'm recording this podcast, the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nation. I pay my respects to elders past and present. Today, I'm here to burst a bubble on PTs who yell. I had a great question come in from Janet. Hi, Tiff. I'm 63 years old and I was thinking about getting a personal trainer, but I have tried them in the past and they were very yelly and I didn't respond well to it. Is there something a beginner like me could do to keep motivated? Firstly, Janet, not all PTs yell. I don't. There is no need to yell to motivate someone, all right? So if the exercise selection, volume, and intensity are all right, then your client shouldn't be quitting and needing to be prompted all the time or yelled at. So it's up to the trainer to create a really good specific program that is customized for their client. I've worked with coaches who have just whispered in my ear one word and I've got that second wind. You know, it's so powerful. Personally, I don't think yelling at someone is a sustainable means of motivation. It really is fear-driven. Just imagine yelling at yourself day in, day out just to do stuff you need to do. You would never, ever do it, right? So I know this technique doesn't work on my kids. I'm screaming at them, clean up, get in the bath. And they never, ever clean up their toys or get in the bath. So I know it just doesn't work. And in my experience, I've found if you are educated in what you're doing and why it is helpful, and if you know the discomfort you may feel and have a timeline for results, you can then make decisions to push yourself towards that success. It's good to know what's coming up so you can plan for it. I always tell my members and my clients what we're going to do. I don't withhold like a cardio finisher of 50 burpees and then spring it on them when they're not expecting it because they'll just freak out. They haven't planned for that mentally. Education really allows for problem solving and planning and leads to actions that are sustainable and lead to results. So you want that positive action. You want them to know, okay, I've got a set of this, a set of that. I've got a little bit of a finisher at the end. I'm going to really push hard and then give it my all at the end. Like you mentally set yourself up when you know what's ahead of you. And I think you just haven't met the right trainer for you. You need someone who will work with your fitness level and ability, know when to push you, know when to pull back. But I get it. PTs can seem a little intimidating sometimes. So I recommend for beginners, you start with a trusted, reputable, online personal training program that you can do from the comfort of your own home. Now, I love it. I love working out at home because you can do it in your PJs. Gyms can be super intimidating. When looking at online programs, make sure the workouts are coached, that the instructor is teaching and coaching you through the exercise and sessions and focusing on technique. You don't want just voiceover or someone just doing star jumps and silence. You want coached videos and you don't want like a PDF or just video libraries, right? You want coached experiences. To keep it safe, you need it to be coached. And all my workouts on TXO are coached and I guarantee the best safety and motivation. This is the best way, I think, to start as a beginner, especially if you find PTs and gyms intimidating. And they keep you accountable. There's a program, you know what's coming up, you know what you're following. There's usually a community wrapped around the program so you can be part of a fantastic community to be accountable to get motivation from, to be inspired by. And it's just a really warm, fuzzy feeling. So have a look out there at some online programs. I know a great one called TXO, but have a look and see if you can find one that suits you, Janet. Michelle's come at me with a really great question. Should I do cardio or weights first when I enter the gym? Now, this is, and I say it all the time, purely dependent on your goal. If your goal is strength focused and you want to grow muscle, set some PBs, increase your strength or muscle mass, then you need to do your strength training first. Same goes for cardio. If your goal is to increase cardiovascular fitness and crack a 5K, but you do a strong leg session and obliterate your legs first and then try and run, then it's not going to work, is it? So if your primary goal is to improve cardio, do cardio first, starting with whatever cardio that is. And it's beneficial if your main goal is to increase cardiovascular endurance or lose weight. This way you'll be fresh and have more energy to put into your cardio session, leading to better performance and probably more calories burned. So it's better. But doing cardio first can use up some serious energy stores, your glycogen in your muscles. So if you need to do your strength training, you're going to be reducing your performance in that area, okay? The decision of whether to do cardio weights first in your workout does depend on your personal preference and how each type of exercise affects your energy, because I've met people who can do a 5K run and then go into a strength session and get the best out of both. I'm not one of those people. I have to choose. I guess, I don't know, being a mum of two, my energy is just like bleh before I get started. And then I have to go, okay, I've got a limited amount of energy. I have to be really specific with my goals. If your primary goal is to increase strength or muscle mass, then do your weights first, because with the resistance training, you will be really fresh and you'll start to stimulate these muscles really fresh, and you will be able to break down the muscles, rebuild them, and you'll have better technique. It's really important when you're tired. I see it time and time again. People in the gym, they're fatigued and then their form goes out the window and they get injured. If your focus is strength training, you want to be fresh and make sure that you're doing proper technique, and you don't want to be doing cardio afterwards, which could affect your endurance or speed during that cardio session. My personal preference is I look at energy levels. Some people feel more energized for strength training after a brief cardio warm-up, while others prefer a solid block of cardio before hitting the weights. But experiment and see. If you feel absolutely zapped after a cardio warm-up, then ditch it. Then I look at time constraints and practicality. If you don't have time to do cardio and strength, then I split it up during the week, and I'll do like high intensity interval training one day, which is just 20 minutes and sort of combines both cardio and strength training, and can be a really smart way of training even in a circuit situation. And the other thing is split routines. If it's challenging to decide what to focus on, then split it. Split your cardio and strength training into different sessions on alternate days. And this can allow you to get the full effort of each type of training without compromising on performance, technique, or energy. Ultimately, it's not one size fits all, this answer. So the best approach is to experiment. There's individual fitness levels, goals, and preferences, and essentially listen to your body and adjust your workout routine accordingly. So if you're really zapped one day, don't go into cardio because it's going to further fatigue your nervous system. You want to always train accordingly to how you feel. And I think that's so important. And so many people don't listen to their bodies and just smash themselves in the gym. And then they pay for it afterwards by having a wrecked nervous system that requires a week's recovery. And then because you've had to have a week off, you lose momentum, you lose motivation, then you can't get back into the gym. And, it's like a spiral. You start spiraling. So it's better to listen to your body, adjust your training to suit your body on that day so that you can keep momentum and keep motivation for your training sessions. Thanks so much for listening to Bounce Forward. I love having your company, so please DM me on Instagram at tiffhall_xo and let me know what questions you'd love me to cover. Don't forget to rate and review me on your podcast app. Speak soon. Happy days.